Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of The Hunting Grounds by Katee Robert, performed by Carly Robbins. Chapter 1. Saturday, June 17th, 12:03 p.m. Someone just reported a body being found at the Kootenai Lakes campground. Startled, Maggie Gaines jumped to her feet and snatched the radio from the desk. She knew that voice. David Downey was one of their new seasonal rangers who had been brought on for the summer, and she'd last seen him this morning when he left the Goat Hunt Ranger Station with a group of tourists. The kid was young, but in the couple of weeks she'd worked with him, he'd remained calm and unruffled even when dealing with the most difficult of tourists. To have him sounding this panicked made her skin crawl. She held the radio up, trying to think, to keep the past from creeping in. A body. Are we going to need a team to retrieve it? This wouldn't be the first time a body had been found in Glacier National Park, and it wouldn't be the last. But they still maintained one of the lowest death counts of the national parks. Maggie wasn't too keen on seeing that change. She also wasn't thrilled by the fact that she was going to have to deal with this one. Maggie, it's not a fall. Right. She should have realized that. Kootenai Lakes didn't offer a lot of places to fall from, even if that was the leading cause of death in this park, historically, at least. They said they found her strung up. Her stomach dropped. Maggie braced her hands on the desk as the world took a slow turn around her. Protocol. Stick with protocol. She took a deep breath. That did nothing to calm her racing thoughts. You haven't seen the body? No. The couple who found her are freaking out, and freaking the rest of the group out. The husband is having chest pains, so I'm sticking here to monitor the situation. Good. At least David was keeping his head, but then he'd worked in the Grand Canyon last season, so he'd likely seen worse than a potential heart attack. I'm coming. A previously healthy heart didn't mean a damn thing when it came to hiking, especially with the elevation changes that came from hiking south out of Goat Hunt. The 220-foot vertical gain wasn't as severe as many of the other hikes in the park, but it was a lot for someone not used to it. She looked up to find Ava Boyle, already handing her one of the packs they kept stocked. You sure you don't want me to call in someone else? Ava had grown up just outside the park on the Blackfeet Reservation. A few inches taller than Maggie, she kept her long black hair back in a serviceable braid, as usual. She'd been hired the year before Maggie, and as two of the only women park rangers, they'd ended up rooming together. It was hard to live day in and day out with someone without ending up fast friends or bitter enemies. Luckily, they fell into the former category. No, I'll do it. I've been cooped up here for days. She tried really hard to sound in control, but her voice wavered. Maggie, with your history, I'm fine. She managed to fake a smile even though she suspected Ava saw right through it. You know as well as I do that my history has nothing to do with this body. I've been a ranger longer than I was with the feds, so I'd like to think I'm more than capable of hiking out there and figuring out what's going on. She thought she did a good job of sounding reasonable. Better than good. Ava gave her a long look. She didn't have to say anything. It was all there in her ink-dark eyes for Maggie to see. You don't sound okay. But she just nodded. Then let's go. The sooner we get up there, the sooner we get this over with. They grabbed the equipment necessary to retrieve a body, something Maggie had been naive enough to hope she'd never have to do in this job capacity, and headed for Kootenai Lakes campground. It was just under 3 miles, and Maggie almost welcomed the struggle of having to keep up with Ava's longer legs and legendary stamina. As rangers, they had to be in pretty good shape, and as women, they had to work twice as hard as the men to prove to themselves and their